Well, when you make a video that talks about one of the worst cars you ever bought and you have instant buyer's remorse for buying it, I think the cure for that is to load up in the Ram truck and go buy another one. Yeah, but not another wagon. This is something different. Let my tire air up. That thing leaks down a little bit. Let's get into the video right after the intro and see what I'm going after here.
I'd say it's a nut job.
Okay, so this time it's not going to be a wagon. This time I don't think it's quite as big of a turd, although I think that's kind of subjective. I have not asked the guy yet if I can film on his property, so I don't know if I'll be able to film me actually looking at the car, and the deal may not work out. You'll know when I do, or after I do. You'll know when the video comes out. Whatever. We're going to fire the old ramp truck up as soon as the air gets in the tire here, and we're off to an adventure. Can't believe I'm doing this myself again.
All right, folks, we're here checking out another potential bad decision. What will he do? Time will tell. Stay tuned.
All right, so let's take a look at my latest stroke of genius, and we'll take a real good look at it here in a moment. But this is a 1948 Ford Coupe. Now, I know somebody's going to say, don't you already have one of them? Well, yes, I do. Right here, as a matter of fact, parked under this tree. It's been here for several years. That is just a shell. It's just a body. I bought it out of a junkyard because the body is in good shape on it. Or I should say the sheet metal is in good shape. There's no floors in it. There's no frame under it. There's no glass in it. There's no dash in it. It's just the sheet metal. It's actually sitting on wood blocks, and the tires you see under it are just stuck under it so that it kind of looks like a car sitting there. It's yard art right now. The plan was to build a gas out of it. But when you start with just sheet metal, you're missing a lot of stuff. But if you start with a car, then you've got a lot of stuff. Now, y'all know I like a car with some history behind it, hence my Galaxy legacy. This right here, there's more to this car than what meets the eyes. Yes, we'll get to this front end in just a minute because it does look butchered up, and it is. This came from an 80-year-old man who built this car, and this is a legit garage, yard find. You can't really call it a barn find because it wasn't in a barn. This is a legit barn find, I guess is the only words you can use that people understand. Old school built hot rod. This is a real traditional hot rod built in, I would say, late 60s, early 70s. As we go through it, we'll find stuff that will date it on how it was built. But right now, I think this was built late 60s, early 70s. It's had, first off, it's had a lot of modifications done to it that are traditional old school. The whole rear end has been swapped out. And these cars from the factory had little narrow leaf springs. This thing has more modern, wider leaf springs, which would have been available in the 60s. Has a 9-inch under the rear end of it, completely done. Unknown transmission. I don't know what transmission is because I hadn't looked under it. The engine I'll tell you about in a minute. This front end up here looks worse than what it really is. The front end right here where it's taken apart here, this is actually two pieces. I can show you on the other car. There's like a pinch weld through here that holds this section and this section together. It's been cut apart right there, peeled apart and taken off. And all of this is gas welded in there. For those who are not familiar with gas welding, sitting there with a torch and a welder, and they've gas welded the fenders and hood all together. Why? To build a tilt front end on the car. Now, I'm not a fan of how it was done. Tilt front ends don't bother me, but that one was not built the best way. And honestly, for this car, it doesn't need a tilt front end. That's where, instead of trying to repair that one and fix the tilt front end and putting all those hours in it, well, since none of this is bolted together, I can just pick this front end up, set it right on that car. The patina is kind of the right patina. The black and rust tone. This is not really rust. A lot of this is like the red oxide primer under it. You'll see that in a minute. But so the colors are kind of right, and we just set the front end on it. This car was running and driving. Unknown time since it's ran and drove last. The fella I just made the deal with said he spun the motor over, but couldn't get fire, so he never actually fired it up. Very traditionally built hot rod. Let's take a look at it a little closer. All right, so first off, before we talk about some of the stuff, I want to give you my definition of rust. I've never seen one word that had so many different interpretations or definitions. Everybody's got a different interpretation of rust. There's some places in the world that if there's some discolorment on it, that's rust. There's other places in the world that you can see the ground through the bottom of it. That's not too bad rusty. You know what I'm saying? It depends on where you are in the world. To me, rust means a hole. If you can see a hole, that is rust. So does this car have some rust? Yes, it has some rust, but very, very minor rust. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little rust holes right there. I'll try to zoom in here if I can so you can see them, but they're very minor little rust holes. And I'll look on the other side. I think the other side's like that too. I have no idea why this side has orange wheels. The other side don't have that. When you open the door, look, no rust on these panels or anything in here. The floors have been replaced with what appears to be just, well, actually, no, I take that back. The floors have not been replaced. It looks like they have, I don't know what they have going on here. We'll have to dig into that and find it out. There's a piece of metal in there, but the floor looked fine under it. I don't know. Looks like somebody used a paintbrush and painted the dash. I'll get you in there in a minute where you can see that. I piled it full of parts while we was over because there's a bunch of parts for it. But these doors are in great shape. They're solid everywhere. It just has a coolness about it. You can see what I was talking about with the dash. As we get inside, he threw this seat in. I don't know what it come out of. I think he told me what he had it in, but I don't know what it came out of. There's some exhaust pipe in there. All the stainless trim that goes on these fenders and all's in here. Bumpers in here. Door panels and all are shot. But look at this old school shifter. It's some kind of weird, looks like he's got a skateboard wheel or something for a shifter knob. I don't even know what that is. That's just old school cool, I guess. You know, it's got 3 pedals. Are we using them all? I don't know yet. I haven't even looked under it to see what the transmission is in this thing. But check this out. Just touch the doors and they shut solid. So the car itself is solid. Let's go around and look at all the little spots. As I was talking about before, here's a few little spots. I'd call that rust. This stuff right here, you don't even feel it with your hand, really. It's just patina, as the kids say. Yeah, we're not even going to deal with this because, like I said, we're going to change it. But I will say, look at the old boogered up gas welding job on this thing to weld the fenders and all in there. And in case you didn't know, it's done. Still has the grill in it. Has both headlights in it. I mean, heck, we got $30, $40 worth of headlights. And on this side over here, these doors, great little whiskey dent right there, but I don't see any rust on this side at all. We get in here, take a look around at the other side from this side. Heck, it's still a more headliner up there. I didn't realize that till just now. I think this is a dash. I hadn't tried to open that. I did not know until I was in this car that these were wood. I always thought that was metal trim. That's all wood that somebody's painted white. God, why do people paint wood? Yeah, I mean, it's fairly good. Got a little whiskey dent right there. Missing the tail light lenses. Of course, the chrome is scratched on the bumper. Yeah, it's just an old school hot rod. Now again, I'm going to tell you that this thing was built late 60s, early 70s. That's where my heart says it was built at. And I believe that. Now, we will dig into this thing. Once I get it off the truck, we'll dig into it and look at everything else, including what the power plant is in this thing. Before we go any further, anybody have any guesses what this thing's powered by? Think of traditional built hot rods, 60s and 70s. What was powering those things? Just let me know what you think. Overall, this is a pretty good car. Yeah, whiskey dent right there. I mean, as I said, you know, got floors in it, package tray, or I don't think they actually had package trays, just a seat went back there. So there's no back seat in it. I have this weird bench seat that came with it. And I mean, there may be some missing stuff. That radio that's supposed to be in there, the radio is laying, you can't see it, it's laying right over on the floor. Underneath that bumper over there. So my last video was how I made a purchase that I had instant buyer's remorse. The old wagon over there that really is just absolute garbage, and I shouldn't have bought it because I'm never going to do anything with it. This on the other hand, I think I have redeemed myself. What do you guys think? Here's my vision for this thing, assuming the engine actually does run. Now, I was told it was a running engine, but people will tell you that. I was also told what the engine come out of, and we'll talk about that later once we talk about what engine's actually in it. But here's my vision. One, the orange wheels have to go. That can't stay. Probably leave the steelies on them, go black. I'm thinking traditional white wall tires. Hear me out. Thinking traditional white wall tires. I'm thinking get behind here and pound out this dent and this dent. Just pound it out. Put the trim back on it. Same thing on the other side where it had that one little dent. Pound it out. Put the trim back on it. Trim's laying inside of it. Put the trim back on. Take the front clip off the other one. stick on here, put the trim on it. I'm thinking fender well headers and some of the old, I went blank. Some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. There was some old exhaust back in the day that had those little chrome pipes that come down the side, and they had 3 little turnouts right here. I can't remember the name of them, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. They came down and had 3 turnouts. Thinking about those exhausts on each side, because that's kind of period correct. And then putting a couple of seats in it and doing a rear seat delete, put a piece of aluminum over the package tray back there, or the divider between the trunk and it back in there. And that's it. Just then drive it. You know what I mean? Get it out on and hit the road with it. All that is depending on how good the motor is and the transmission. What transmission's in it? Man, I wish I knew what transmission's in it. We'll figure that out though. Couple little things are missing. Like neither one of the cars I have the taillight lenses. What else was it? There's something else that I was thinking about. Neither car has on it. I can't remember at the moment, but I know neither car has the taillight lenses on it or anything. So I'll have to come up with that. And I may do something about that busted up looking wood pieces there in the dash. I may either delete those, try to find replacements of those, or I don't know, something. Maybe I'll just delete all that and put a piece of sheet metal in there. I don't know. But I'm not thinking this is going to be a very high dollar build, that I'm going to try to leave all the old cool stink on this thing that I can, because this car, put this in perspective for a minute, this car is almost 80 years old. I think the math is what, 77? This is almost 80 years old. And it was built this way probably before I was born. So as much of this as I can leave, I'm going to. Now, this is going to get tucked away for a couple of weeks because we've got to get that Jeep done, and that's what I was supposed to be doing, is working on a Jeep and making a video of it, but I got sidetracked when this came up. And it was at such a price that mentally I could not walk away from it. I love a car with history. It absolutely drives me nuts when I get a car with history, because I want to try to finish or recreate the vision they had in it. And I can see this. I can see this vision in this car. I can plainly see this thing with the wheels painted back black. I can clearly see this thing with like some white walls on it. I can clearly see this thing, you know, with those little side pipes that I was talking about on it, and giving it that correct vintage look and having a traditional 60s and 70s hot rod. I can see that. What do you guys think? You like the idea I have for this thing? I know the best thing to do would probably make a gasser out of it. Come here, radius these wheel wells, some fat tires on the back, fix the tilt front end, some skinnies on the front, and build a gasser out of it. But I don't think that was where he was with this car. Now, maybe it was. I mean, because he did do the tilt front end and everything. Let's be honest about it. Not every gasser in the world back in the day was jacked up to the moon in the front. They done that for weight transfer. The gasser class was built for cars that had swapped engines in them. It wasn't original engines. Maybe this thing was an original gasser. Maybe I need to make a phone call. I need to make a phone call to somebody I think knows. Let me call somebody and I need to make a phone call. We need to figure this out. All right, let's take a look at the power plant. I had to sleep on it. I had to make some phone calls last night. I wanted to make sure everything was correct on this car. And I talked to what I think is one of the foremost authorities on correct built 60s cars. and told him everything was on the car, everything was built, and he 100% agreed that this sounds like a perfectly air correct built car. Now, let me back up one step. When I get excited, I kind of ramble a little bit, and I'll skip over stuff because my mouth goes faster than my brain will. This car was built in the 60s, late 60s, by a man who passed away when he was in his 80s, and he had this car that entire time. But this car was sold at an estate auction where the guy that I got the car from got it. Now, the guy I got the car from didn't have the car long. But when we look at the engine, there's a few things that's changed. One, and of course, you know, he sprayed these orange wheels. I have no explanation why. This thing originally had fender well headers. The inner fender wells are cut out for the fender well headers and everything. This thing had fender well headers on it. They were taken off and manifolds were put on it. He put a chrome water pump on it. I guess chrome gets you home. I don't know. A few things have been changed, and they wanted to keep the carburetor off of it, whatever, because I think this guy was thinking more of making it into a street cruiser than a factory race car. The roll bar has been cut out of it. You can see the little stubs up down here on the inside where it had the roll bar and all that. The roll bar has been cut out of it. So if I'm going to try to take it down the track or anything, I have to put a roll bar back in it. But let's take a look at the power plant. Now, did any of y'all make guesses as to what you think powers this thing? I think 60s racing kind of correct thing. I slid the front end of it off, and here you go. Yep. Sorry, guys. Small block Chevrolet. Yeah, I know. Listen. If I was building a car, I wouldn't have put a small block Chevrolet in it. The fact is, it has a small block Chevy in it now. That's all I can say. I didn't build it, but talking to the fellow last night that I was talking to, what is going on right there? Talking to the guy I was talking to last night, this is correct. The 283 was a very popular engine at that point in time. It was kind of the go-to type of engine. I don't know any details. Apparently this guy got it from, sprayed some orange paint on it, put a chrome water pump on it, like he put some new plug wires on it. I don't know what he was doing. Put a chrome fuel pump on it. I don't know. I guess he was trying to make some kind of little hot rod to go to the car show with. I don't know. But engine runs. It's not how I would build it, but it's how it was built when it was put together. I was just looking at something. I'm kind of weirded out here. Here's the Z-bar for the clutch pedal coming down. The clutch fork goes into the bell housing, but this is an automatic. Why does a automatic have a clutch pedal and a clutch fork? I got to do some investigating on that. It's got an automatic in it, but the Z-bar and the clutch pedal's hooked up, and it's got a clutch fork going right into the bell housing like a manual transmission. I'm a little confused on that one. I got to do some research on that one. That one caught me off guard while I was sitting here looking at it. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know anything about that, guys? I'm gonna have to do some research on that one. I don't think I've seen that before. Huh. It's got a... it's so dark right in there, I don't think it's going to show up. But the clutch pedal's hooked up, and it's got the clutch fork, and it goes right into the bell housing, just like it would be a 4-speed or something. But then it's got an automatic transmission hooked to the back of it. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. I'll have to figure that out. That one's caught me off guard for a second. I gotta research that one. All right, guys. So there you go. There's my most recent purchase. Air correct, a 60s built hot rod. Scratch what I said earlier about having some ideas. Now that I've talked to somebody that really knows error correct hot rods. I've got a completely different idea for this thing. What do you think about street gasser? Like, we keep this thing basically like it is. Maybe a little upgrade or something, but basically like it is. And, you know, ditch the orange wheels. But we put something like the old pie crust slicks on the back, the cheater slicks, you know, because they look correct. We get some correct kind of skinnies looking on the front. And we'll leave it stinky cool. Of course, I'm still going to put that other front end over there on it because I just can't get over the way that hacked up front end looks. I don't like it. But for the most part, we leave the car the way it is, and we make a street gasser out of it. We just let the vision that was here continue to live. Huh. I'm deeply intrigued about this. Now listen, I'm supposed to be working on a Jeep. I had to run pick this up, so I wanted to do a video for it while I had it sitting here on the truck. I'm going to get this thing unloaded. I'm going to work on the Jeep some. You'll see a video or two on the Jeep. But then we're going to come back and we're going to work on this engine. We're going to try to get this engine fired up and running and hear this thing run. I'm going to put some fender well headers back on it, ditch those exhaust manifolds. But we're going to fire this engine up, hear this thing run, and I'm going to try to figure out this transmission. The transmission has completely caught me off guard right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm at a loss for words right now on the transmission. But we may even go back. They cut it out. We may even go back with a nice period correct roll bar. It would have probably been maybe a 6-point at that point. I'll have to call around, make some calls. But the main hoop, the wires that go out the back, 4. Door bars would have been 6. It might have been an 8. It might have had one that went up by the dash, but probably a 6-point cage roll bar would have been in it with at that time would have been correct. So we'll probably put a bar back in it like it would have been correct and just make a truly survivor correct gasser. Try to keep it as much the way it is now as it can while doing things it has to have to be safe. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by this one, so I'm going to dig up some more details on it. I just wanted to share it with you guys and get it out there and just see what you guys' opinion of this car is. I think it is so silly cool. And once we put this other front clip on it, man, this car is going to be hot. Let me walk over here and yeah, see, if we put this front clip on that car, it's wet right there, but the color pretty closely matches that, and I think that's going to be hot, man. I think that's going to be if you look at this front end, yeah, it's got a little whiskey dent right there, but that matches the car. You can almost see a seam right across through here where that trim goes. It goes all the way around. That's where that fender was split up there. There's enough here to fix the front on that one and have a silly cool street gasser. I'm really digging this car. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have put a small block Chevy in it. You know, I'm a Ford guy, but the fact that it's already there and done and this car supposedly runs, I don't know that I'm the guy that's going to just tear it apart just to change it either. Now, if that motor does not run, if there is some issue with that motor, I'm still not hurt on the car. I got the car cheap enough. If that motor's hurt and does not run, you all know what's going to happen. Y'all know the minute that motor doesn't go pucka, you know what's going to happen. You know me. You've watched enough of my videos. You know what's going to be in that car. So, let's, man, I can't wait to dig into this thing. I'm getting excited all over again. I can't wait to dig into this thing. And I need to do some research on this transmission. I've never seen an automatic that uses a clutch. And this is a straight up automatic. I've looked at it. I can see the ear on the side of the transmission, one ear. The shifter in it's an automatic shifter. You can go park, reverse, neutral. You can feel them positively clicking in. But it's got a clutch pedal. So is this something that they built and made in the 60s? Did it make some kind of transmission that run off a clutch? Is this some kind of modification that racers did back in the day? I don't know. I got to research that. That right there has just lit a fire under me about this thing that I'm freaking excited because I've never seen that before. And dealing with these old cars, it's not often you run into something you've never seen. Now, somebody out there knows all about this. And let's be honest about it. Before anybody says it, let's be honest about it. This car, by today's standards, is not fast. I don't care what's done to that little motor. I don't care what that transmission is. By today's standards, this car is not going to be fast. Anything built in the 60s, by today's standards, not fast. But this thing may have been an absolute lightning bolt in the 60s. I don't know. But man, am I intrigued by it. Y'all, stay tuned. There'll be videos coming on this car. We got to get the Jeep done. There's going to be videos coming on this car, and we're going to do something special with this car. I've even talked to a buddy of mine about an event coming this year that we may take this car to. So, I'm intrigued. Y'all hang in there. I hope the Lord bless you more today than he did yesterday. Him be the glory. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. You guys make this kind of fun possible. I gotta collect my thoughts and dig in on this thing. We'll see you guys on the next one. Who knows? Well, I gotta go. We'll see you on the next one. Hang on. One thing, hang on. Two things. One, you see this pouring sweat. Building a lift off or a tilt front end out of the factory sheet metal, the steel, you ain't saving no weight. And you'll work your ass off working it. But more important, I called a friend of mine that's an engineer. And I told him about this transmission. And he kind of geeked out on it like I am the car. And he mind barfed all about what this is. Now, I would try to explain it to you. But I don't have enough letters behind my name to explain the engineering behind this. But basically, as he explained it to me, basically, that is a poor man's Linko, as he explained it. It's an automatic, and it has a clutch setup in it. He explained how to engage the pump and all, but it's got a clutch in it, and you can rev it, push the clutch in, pull it all the way down first. You know, you can rev it at the starting line, dump the clutch. It takes off just like a 4-speed car was. Hammers and goes. And then you can just click, click, click through the gears without touching the clutch. So apparently, as he explained to me, converter technology back then was garbage. That they just didn't have any good converters. The technology to build converters wasn't there. So this was a way to combine both the fast shifting of an automatic, I guess you would say, or the quick shifting of an automatic with the grabbing or the control of a clutch at that time. I don't really know how to explain it. I understood what he was saying. He used bigger words than what my brain has access to. But poor man's Linko is the easiest way to describe it. You push the clutch in, you put it all the way down in low gear, you can sit there at the start line, you can rev it, you can do all that stuff with it. When the light goes green, or preferably right before it goes green, you know what I'm saying. You dump the clutch, wheels up, this thing takes off, gives it all the power, it goes, and then you just boom, boom, and don't touch the clutch. I am thoroughly intrigued by this. What this has me doing now is just wanting to get it to fire up and run. I just want to hear it run now. Because now if it runs, it's going to go straight up there for some street launches and see what that is all about. I am so intrigued by that. That's all I got. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
nut job.